Yeah, you ain't kidding, Gio. At this rate, I'm going to be riding it all night long, no doubt. No doubt at all. What's going on, George? You hit your workout today? Yeah, I'm headed up the Turnpike, George. I'm actually headed home from my daughter's house. So I was strategic. I said, I'm going to leave late so I could beat the traffic. And apparently the best laid plans. I actually went to the gym and just took my time there, hung out, did some stretching, just tooled around there for a little bit, did nothing in particular. A little of this, a little of that, some ab work, just to kill time. And I figured I'd get on the road, it'd be smooth sailing. Apparently not. When you say climbing, George, what you mean like a rock climbing wall at the gym? Is that what you do? Oh, nice. So, how long you been doing that, George? I mean, is that something that you just got into, or you've been doing that for a while? I didn't even know that they had a gym like that near us in Jersey, anywhere, in proximity to us in Jersey, to be honest with you. Oh, that's nice, George. Yeah, I never heard of that place over in Newark. I never heard of that place. So is that like a full-fledged gym? Is it specifically for the climbing part of it, or do they have a workout area, weights and things like that, machines? Is it like a combination gym, and they just have the climbing as part of it? nice. I'm gonna have to look that place up, George, and give it a look. Maybe I'll stop in there and check it out. I'm always looking for a new place to check out. I like to visit, other gyms. Sounds like a nice. I'll definitely look it up. I'll definitely give it a look, see what it looks like, and if it's worth the ride, maybe I'll take a ride down and check it out. So George, doing the climbing, would you say that you're more pull dominant when it comes to working out as opposed to, pushing movements? I'm assuming if you're doing that for a couple of years now, you probably built up some real decent grip and pull strength. Yeah, I would imagine, George, if you've been doing that for that length of time. Did you ever see? There's a obviously the calisthenics, all the pull movements there, the rows and the pull-ups, going to build the grip and the pull strength. Did you ever see the channel? There's a guy called Geek Climber. He's got a pretty good channel, and he's into climbing and stuff. And to look at him, he's not a real big guy. I think he's about 140, 150 pounds, but he does climbing, so I guess he's got some good pull strength. And he's done some good things on his channel where he, set out to learn a specific skill, say the muscle up, one arm pull up, front lever. But he actually breaks it down and explains it, and he'll give mathematical equations. Like the front lever, he gave this crazy mathematical equation as to why he couldn't do it. The length of his arms and things like that, his trunk. And he explained why it's easier for people with, a certain arm length and a certain body length to do it. And it was really crazy the way he broke it down. Interesting guy, but he's into the climbing, and he learned the muscle up, just the straight bar muscle up. I think it was about a month, and like I said, he did the one arm pull up and a couple other things. But a pretty good channel. It's called Geek Climber. Yeah, there's a science to everything, George, right? And when this guy tries to explain it away, with his math equations as to why he couldn't do it or why it was harder for him to do it, he got lambasted. A lot of people just work harder. You're not doing it right. You have to do it this way. You have to do it that way. And he broke it down, and it was so convincing listening to him. To listen to him explain it. I believed him. It made so much sense when you heard him break it down. But yeah, check him out. It's called Geek Climber. George, are you talking about the geek climber with that comment? Yeah, he's all over the place. His main thing though was the rock climbing wall. But he challenged himself to learn all these other skills, and posted it on YouTube. I found him pretty entertaining, to be honest with you, and I give him a lot of credit for trying all that. And he didn't succeed on all of them, but at least he tried, Yeah, the Pioneer, I've seen that guy too. He seems to be into pretty much everything. He's all over the place, that Pioneer. And he gets into the science behind movements and stuff. He goes pretty deep. Yeah, I appreciate that, George. Send me that info. I'm definitely going to look that gym up, without a doubt. And if it looks doable, I'll definitely pay a visit down there. Oh, I didn't realize he had a book. So what's the basis? What's the book? Is it just like exercise physiology and things like that, or is it some type of autobiography, or is it something specific to fitness and exercise? I'm sure there's some good information in it then. I mean, he seems like a knowledgeable guy. He's definitely ripped up. I mean, he looks like he knows what he's doing. And he's, like I said, I haven't watched that much of his channel, but when I do pop on his videos, he always seems to be doing something different. place must be well-rounded then, George, if they have the heavy bag and the speed bag hookup. You don't see that often in a gym. Yeah, I've seen those balance lines, George. A guy I knew had one. He used to strap it actually between two trees. But they actually have it. They have one where it's like you put it on the floor. It's on two stands. You basically just spread it apart, and it looks like you're only, not even a foot off the floor. You know what I mean? But it's sort of like a standalone unit. You don't need to attach it to anything. And that was pretty cool. So, George, the line that you bought, is it one like that you have to, say, attach to a couple of poles or a couple of trees or something? Or is it one of those standalone units? Okay, yeah, the one I'm talking about, I didn't look too closely at it. I've seen it actually in a couple of videos, but I'm assuming it's just like on this retractable type stand or something. But again, you don't have to ratchet it to anything. It just kind of stands on its own. George, have you ever tried that line, or you just bought it in anticipation of learning it this summer? Tim Effect, what's up, brother? Not too much, just on my commute. I'm on my commute, heading north up the Turnpike, going home from my daughter's house, actually. What's up, Tim? Did you get some work in today or what? I know you did. I should just say, what type of work did you get in today? Because I know you had to do something. That's a good idea, George, on your rest, sort of like an active recovery type thing. Definitely something different to do, no doubt. Thanks, Tim. That's my guy, Aldo, over on Crusades of Motivation. You know how that actually got going, Tim? Him and I were talking about what the hell? It was something to do with politics, and he wanted to do a video on it. And I said, I don't know if people want to listen to politics. When you get into the politics and the religion, it's pretty polarizing, So I said, maybe we'll come up with something different. And then we started doing the reaction videos to the Settle It on the Bars. So we did a couple of those, and I thought they went pretty well. And then they didn't put out videos for a little bit. And then when they did, Rip Wright was on there doing his own commentary. So I said to Aldo, there's no sense in us doing the same thing he's doing. So we just decided to go on and shoot the shit. And we alternated between my channel and his channel. So I think, what were we on? Last night we were on my channel. So maybe we'll do something on his channel tomorrow, one day over the weekend. Yeah, George, but yeah, obviously balance is important, especially as you get older. I can attest to that, I'm not a big fan of that McGregor anymore. I'm kind of tired I'm over his shtick, you know what I mean? I'm not putting down his talent, obviously he made a lot of money, he was successful, but I'm a little over his whole act at this point. I thought that Khabib really put him in his place. Yeah, thanks, Tim. Like I said, he's a very talented tattoo artist, and he had a couple of clients today he was working on, so he couldn't jump on. So we'll probably do something tomorrow. He's gonna get a hold of me and let me know what's up. But yeah, he's a really good tattoo artist. I'm really impressed. And he doesn't do just small pieces. If somebody wants like a cartoon character or a name or something like that, he does like portraits and full sleeves. Really extensive work. He's not putting Yosemite Sam on somebody's bicep, or calf on their leg. Aldo said, George, Aldo says he's going to make a trip out here to the East Coast. And hopefully we're all going to hook up. And he actually travels. He travels with his tattoo tool, with his tools and all his needles and whatever, his ink. He said he's got a whole setup, like a suitcase that he travels with. And he said he's going to get each one of us. So we'll definitely invite you to the party. And I'm sure Aldo would be more than happy to hook you up. Tomorrow, George, I'm hoping, my plan is to get a nice set of weighted pulls in. I haven't done them. I was away down in Florida for a couple of days, so I wasn't able to do any weighted pulls. And I was on a roll with them. I was doing them. I was setting aside one day a week, and I was getting a nice weighted pull session in. And I missed it for like the last week and a half, so I'm due for that. So my plan tomorrow is to definitely do that. Get the weighted pulls in. Maybe some abs. What type of vest do you use, George? Is it something like Aldo? I'm sure you've seen Aldo's, right? It's a 45-pound vest where you could actually adjust it by taking the weight blocks in and out of the pockets. Yeah, the ankle weights. You know, it's funny. I got into just putting those ankle weights on and walking around with them just to get used to them. And I used to wear them, and I would forget I even had them on. But it's crazy, you know. You feel like you're spring-loaded the minute you take them off after wearing them for any length of time. Yeah, that gray vest was a nice fit. Mine actually ripped, Georgia. And I guess whatever it is, the sand, or I don't know if it's sand or whatever they put in it, I started losing that, so I got rid of that. And then I switched it up. That was a 20-pounder that I had. I got some good use out of it, but I abused the hell out of it. And then I wound up tearing it. And then I went for a little different model, and I upped it to a 30-pounder. And actually my intention was to get one like Aldo's, but I decided I'm going to get my use out of this 30-pounder that I have now. And once I abuse that enough and I wind up tearing it, or I can't use it anymore, I'll go for something new, something that's more adjustable. Yeah, no doubt, George. I mean, even when I had the 20-pounder, if you have that on for any length of time, even after a few minutes, you start getting that dull ache in your shoulders, without a doubt. You start feeling it. And I've used that 30-pounder. I use it at the park, for weighted pulls. But I got to be honest. I think I find it, for me, it hinders my range of motion a little bit, and I much prefer doing the weighted pull-ups with a belt and a kettlebell around my waist. I find that way more comfortable than wearing the vest. Yeah, actually, I don't have kettlebells, George. With the weighted pulls, I do them at the gym with the kettlebells. And I don't know if you've seen, but I picked up a handle off of Amazon. Actually, 2 of them I got. And they fit around a standard size dumbbell and basically turns it into a kettlebell, So I've used that periodically. I actually use that on my weighted pulls, but I've also used that handle on the dumbbell to do kettlebell swings in a couple of my workouts. I've actually, I know I've posted at least 1 or 2 doing those kettlebell swings with that hand. It's actually a pretty good handle. George, are you talking about something like the Bowflex dial-up weights? I actually have a pair of those too. That's a nice piece of. I've had those for years. My garage setup. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, yeah, power blocks. Okay. Yeah, I've seen the power blocks. Power blocks, or even the Bowflex, definitely a space saver, right? When you compare it to having, dumbbells from 10 to 90, take up a lot of space. And when you figure out if you were to buy all those dumbbells separately, definitely cost effective getting something like the Bowflex or the power blocks. To be honest with you, George, I'm not surprised. People buy all this equipment, and in their mind they're going to buy it and they're going to work out all the time. How many treadmills, how many, rowing machines, and just all sorts of fitness equipment, dumbbells. I mean, you can go on Facebook Marketplace, online, anywhere, and you could find people selling them every single day. Very few people are going to buy any type of equipment like that and then go on and use it, for a real length of time. They'll get it, use it initially, and then it's going to sit there and just, they'll get so tired of moving it around and dusting it off, and that's when they put it, try and sell. It really is wasteful, but it goes back to consistency, right? It's same old story. People just, you want to get the results, you have to be consistent. People just aren't. They start off, everybody's got that initial motivation for a couple of weeks, a couple of months. And then when the first excuse pops up, I can't do it, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week. And like I said, the treadmills, the bikes, they become clothes hangers, and you're moving them from room to room and folding it up, and Finally, when you get tired of doing that, that's when you put it up for sale and try and sell it. I think one of the other biggest jokes is these Peloton bikes that people bought into. Just a total waste. Thousands of dollars, and people are paying, I'm gonna say $50 a month or $30 a month for some type of subscription to, see some guy on a screen. Just a total waste. And there again, people, and they got to be a few $1,000. And how many of those are for sale? Exactly, George. Ride a real bike. And you can go on Facebook Marketplace and get a bike cheap that somebody bought intending to ride and they never did. And it's been sitting in their garage. And it's pretty much like brand new because they never really rode it. Yeah, that's human nature for most of us, George, just to hold on to stuff. Because we always have in our mind that I'm going to use it at some point. I'm going to hold on to this because I'm sure I'm going to use it at some point, even with the treadmills and the rowing machines and the bikes. I don't want to get rid of it because I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to start using it. I'm going to start using it. George, thank you, brother. Have a good night. I'll talk to you soon. Stay well. What's up, SP? How you doing tonight? Strider 920. So here we are at the 80-minute mark. I've been live for over 80 minutes, Strider. 80 minutes I've been on this thing. People popping in and out. Not one asshole until you popped in. You have the honor of being the first asshole to pop in tonight. Congratulate yourself. Strider, I gotta say, you, and not only are you the first asshole, but you're probably the most talented guy to jump in tonight too. Now, how long have you been practicing that? Be honest now. I'm guessing it's been a long time because you don't do anything else. Because you're probably a fucking physical wreck, right? You're probably a mess. You're living in a basement somewhere, and this is your claim to fame. That you pop on live streams and do things like this, and you laugh your ass off as if you're doing something. Why don't you get a glove and get in the game? As a matter of fact, I'm going to be live tomorrow. Doing a workout. Why don't you pop in with me and we'll work out together? And show everybody what Strider 920 looks like. How about we do that? Strider, I don't care about your whole story. Your whole story means nothing to me. Okay, nothing about you means anything to me. Let's get that straight. I'm just pointing out the fact that you're a fucking bottom feeder and your life is doing things like this to try and get a rise out of people. That's what you do with your life. That's what I'm trying to point out. So again, my invitation stands. If you want to come on and work out, and let's show everybody what Strider looks like. What do you say, Strider? We can be pals. I'll help you. It's not that bad, believe me. You stop eating cookies, stop feeding yourself soda, pizza, and junk food. You'll be all right. Things will work out for you, I promise. It's not all that bad. Life can be good. You can do something with yourself, Strider. You really can. Good evening, Frankie F16. What is a popular fitness advice that doesn't live up to the hype? Well, I don't know if it's so much advice or a belief that most people have that are trying to lose weight. Probably the biggest one is that they have to do a ton of cardio. And that's going to be the answer to their prayers when it comes to losing weight. And most people try, and they'll just keep that in their head that, that being on a treadmill is going to negate a shitty lifestyle, a shitty diet. And it just doesn't. It really takes learning how to eat, what to eat. You have to experiment with what you react well to. And just break that junk food addiction, and stop thinking that you can live a shitty lifestyle, including what you eat and what you drink, sleep patterns and things like that. People should work on that first, rather than trying to exercise away the extra weight. I think in my experience, that's probably the biggest fallacy that people hold on to. We talk time and time again about New Year's resolutioners, and if you go to any gym the day after Thanksgiving or after any holiday, after a long weekend, people are in the gym, on the treadmills, on the bikes, on the elliptical machines, trying to do their penance for the damage that they did, with their diet, with their drinking, and everything else. Another big one too is this pertains more to women. They just refuse to get rid of that notion that lifting weights or doing resistance training is going to make them somehow bulky or look like a man. It's totally the opposite. The only way you're going to reshape your body, especially when you lose an appreciable amount of weight, is to do resistance training. Somebody who does, if they are on, a calorie deficit and they're dieting the right way, and they start losing weight, and they only do cardio exercise, they're really doing themselves a disservice, because resistance training is going to help make you stronger. It's going to strengthen your muscles, strengthen your bones. You want to have muscle on your body because your basal metabolic rate is higher when you have muscle on your body. Meaning, if you have muscle on your body, you're going to burn more calories doing nothing just to maintain that muscle. That's not to say there's absolutely no benefit to cardio exercise. It should be a part of everybody's regimen to some degree, because that's going to build your endurance and obviously strengthen your cardiovascular system. But to rely just on that as a weight loss tool, it's not a good strategy at all. Strider, no harm, no foul, brother. I appreciate that. As long as you're being sincere. I apologize for going back at you the way I did too. There's nothing wrong with having a little fun. We just don't want to get no reason to be disrespectful with each other, right? It's all about staying healthy. I hope you're at least doing that for yourself. Nothing wrong with having a sense of humor and fucking around a little bit, but there's no reason to get out of hand like that. So again, I apologize for going back at you the way I did. Common false thinking for women is not eating enough. There's intermittent fasting, and then there's... Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right, Frank. It comes down to eating for your goals. What are you trying to do? Man or woman, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to lose weight? And that's what the majority of people are trying to do, is initially lose. Really, you know, a lot of guys fall into this thing where I want to build muscle and lose fat, and they want to do it at the same time. Can it be done in certain circumstances? It's difficult. You know, my strategy would be to concentrate on one thing: lose that body fat and then build yourself back up, right? If you got an old car, you want to strip it down before you repaint it. So what are your goals? You know, if you're looking to lose weight, you got to be at that calorie deficit. And on the flip side, man or woman, if you're looking to build up, if you're looking to change the shape of your body, put on some muscle, build strength, you want to be at a caloric surplus. You know, and people get into this thing, well, I'm on a bulk. That's like the big term people use, I'm on a bulk. And they think that's a license to just shovel shit in their mouth. Just at random, whatever you see, just eat under the guise of being on a bulk. And it shouldn't be that way either. David Jones is it? Hey David, how you doing, brother? Strider, I am from New Jersey. If you know anything about New Jersey, I was born and raised in a town called Bayonne. It's down by, in the Newark area, Jersey City, in that area. And about 20 years ago, I moved up to northern Jersey. Way up northwest New Jersey, actually. But I've been in Jersey my whole life. Heidi, you're no different than anybody else. I mean, we all, it's hard. It's hard. The biggest thing is the diet. Biggest thing is the diet. And that's what you really have to get in check, especially if you put some weight on. It's good that you're lifting. It's good that you're running. You want to get that nailed down. Have some kind of routine, right? Because that's got to be a part of the whole thing too, right? You want to be consistent with that. But then you got to chip away at the diet. And it can't, it's like anything. You can't build, a whole new lifestyle overnight, especially when it comes to the food, because most of this shit is addicting. So you got to pick your poison. What do you do? Do you drink a lot of soda? Do you eat, whatever? Pick something that you think you go overboard on and try and get rid of that. Replace it with something else. And just chip away at it. Just know that it's not going to be an overnight thing. None of it ever is. It's got to be a lifestyle. It's got to be consistent. I'm not saying it's got to be 100%. It's never going to be 100%. But you want to get it, if there's 7 days in a week, you want to be on it 5 days a week. Cut loose on the other 2 days, and it's not really going to, it's all going to balance out. But if you keep the exercise consistent, and just work on that diet. But again, don't do it all overnight. Just pick your poison. I want to get rid of this. And you know what you're not supposed to be eating. You know what the shit is. We all do. Yeah, I think you're right, David. It would. The problem is the copyright. You know what I mean? I can't play anything that's copyrighted because I'll get a strike from YouTube, and I'll either have to mute the video or take it down. And they really do catch on everything. I actually have a couple of my workout videos. I found a channel where they had music that you could use as long as you credit the artist. And it was, you probably remember, David, last summer I did a 30-day challenge. So this one channel, I would take the music off that channel and put it in the videos, during that whole month. And on a few of them, I forgot you have to credit the artist, in the description of the video. And I was doing it every day for the 30 days, and there was a handful of days where I forgot to do it. And sure enough, just recently, as a matter of fact, it took a while. It took obviously months for them to catch up with me, but they basically said, either mute the video or take it down. So I just went back and I credited the channel in the description, and they were good with that. They took off it wasn't a copyright. There's a difference. There's different levels. What I got was, I guess you would call it like a warning. Hey, you can't do this. You're supposed to credit the guy. So if you don't credit him, take it down or mute it. So I went back, put the credits into the description, and all was good. But if you use something, like a real popular music, real copyrighted music, they'll give you a strike. And if that happens 3 times, they'll actually take your channel down. Favorite music, David? I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you. I mean, I was, grew up in the 70s and 80s, so, classic rock, I guess, is what I pretty much grew up on. But now, I can listen to anything, to be honest. I'm not big on country music and like real hardcore rap. I don't like stuff like that. But other than that, I'm pretty open to listening to anything. Frankie, you like those ASMRs? I guess I could put that up, right, with just 2 hours of engine noise. People might find that soothing to some degree. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was, Dave. Just a little slap. Just a little wake-up call. But like I said, when it comes to real copyright strikes, it is 3 strikes and you're out, and they'll take your channel down. Yeah, Guns N' Roses. I was never too much into Alice Cooper, David. AC/DC, Aerosmith, along those lines. The Stones, of course. But I guess gun to my head, pick your favorite of all time, I think I'd probably have to go actually with AC/DC, to be honest with you. Frankie, I think the ASMRs are more relaxing when they're unintentional. I see a lot of these videos where they're contrived, they're trying to do it, if that makes sense. I think when it's, especially if they have a lot of these speaking ASMRs with people speaking, and a lot of those can be soothing, like listening to some people when they speak. Because I don't think most of them are doing it for that reason. I think that's just their natural voice.